Our tiny little chocolate factory. This is Rowan. She's one of our chocolatiers. She makes.
You might be able to tell by the state of my arm.
Chocolate all over us, and of course, being from Argentina, you have Bariloche, of course.
Yes.
The very famous chocolate del Rama, no?
Yes.
Rama,
Yes.
which is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. So, hello. Come and join us. We're just about to start a tour. So it takes 5 minutes. It's absolutely free of charge. So come with me, please. Feel free. Come and join.
Community.
So, we've been making chocolate here for 6 years now, and I'm actually going to start off with a bit of a sad fact. For the first 3 years in the life of our company, we were buying our beans like everybody does from the Ivory Coast, La Costa Marfil, in Africa. And we were buying fair trade beans, thinking we were doing the right thing. Not at all. The exploitation is terrible there. A typical farmer in the Ivory Coast earns 55 cents US dollars a day, and that's as good as it gets. There's over 2 million child slaves forced to work, sold from countries like Ghana and Mali. They never see their parents again. Today.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll
So
tell you, I get goosebumps every time I say it, every time I hear it, I get goosebumps because it's.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So as soon as we found this out, which was only 3 years ago, we completely changed our supply chain. We buy about 80% of our raw materials now from the Dominican Republic, but also from Honduras, from Peru, from Ecuador. The farmers there are in about $11, $12, $13 a day, and there is no child slave labour. And we go over to the plantations, we meet the farmers, and it's
So you buy direct from them?
not direct. We buy through cooperatives because the farmers.
Like here in Spain, they do
Yeah, although most of the cooperatives are actually in the actual plantations. Guys, come and join us. Feel free. This is just a free little tour. So basically, chocolate. It actually grows on trees. It grows. These are the cacao trees. Obviously, this is papier-mâché, so they're not real, but the colours are real. You'll probably see here on this video. You'll see some cocoa pods here. In fact, just coming up. So you get beautiful purples, you get oranges, you get the greens, and inside these pods, you get about 50 cocoa beans.
Is it once a year the harvest?
It's actually you can actually get 2, sometimes 3 harvests a year. Yeah, and these are cacao beans here. So if you pass that around, and what we've got here. This is actually a real cocoa pod. So there's a pod. Pass that around. So you get the size of them. Okay. Inside each pod, you get about 50 beans, and 50 beans is enough to make 1 decent bar of dark chocolate, or 5 bars of milk chocolate or white chocolate. Okay. So now when we never see the pods, by the way. We only receive the beans. The only time I ever see the pods is when I actually go to the plantations. They stay in the plantations and they fertilise the ground. So we get the beans, and the first thing that we do with the beans, we have to roast them. Now this was the first roaster that I bought. She's called Dora, because Spanish for roaster is tostadora. She's from 1936. She's French, and we've got a more modern roaster inside the factory, but she still works. So the beans are roasted for 40 minutes, and after 40 minutes, pop, just like popcorn. And the aroma is absolutely fantastic. So that's the first stage, roasting. The second stage is grinding, and this is a genuine, original cacao mill. We call her Molly, because Spanish for mill is molino. So this is Molly. We don't use her, but this is how she would operate. If she had an electric motor, she would actually grind the beans for 3 whole days. The process actually is, you put the beans in, and after about 1 day of grinding, the beans become completely liquid. Okay? So it'll be up to about here. So after 1 day, the beans melt. because over half the bean is cocoa butter. So that butter melts and becomes a liquid. You then add the cane sugar, you grind for 3 days, and you've got dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is just 2 ingredients, the bean and some sugar. If you're making milk chocolate, you'd add a 3rd ingredient, powdered milk, never liquid milk, it has to be powdered. If you put liquid milk in, this would be put in, the powdered milk would be put in here. Now the machine that we actually use is, you can see her inside spinning around right now. That's the Molly that we actually use, the silver and red machine, okay? And this is a picture of inside, so you can actually see the 2 stone granite wheels, and you see the liquid, beautiful chocolate inside.
Say dark chocolate.
Yes.
What percentage is the bean and sugar?
For instance, our best-selling dark chocolate here is 70%. Now that means 70% is the bean, 30% is cane sugar. Okay. Our milk chocolate is about. Yeah. Well, you don't actually use Spanish cane sugar. It's not organic, sadly. We buy organic cane sugar from India. So yeah, India, but Brazil as well. I'll look into. You're Australian, are you? I'm not seeing any Australian cane sugar, but you get lots. Okay, that's interesting. North, yeah. Okay. So that's how the actual chocolate is made. By the way, white chocolate. Our white chocolate that we make here is low sugar. It's not low sugar at all. It's 66% sugar. But for the industry, that's actually considered to be low. You'll easily find white chocolate 74%, 75% sugar. What's the rest of it? Why is white chocolate white? Well, it doesn't contain any of the good beneficial properties of chocolate. All the good stuff in chocolate is the solids, is the powder, the cocoa powder. And you find loads of that in dark chocolate. You'll find some of it in milk chocolate, and you find absolutely none of it whatsoever in white chocolate. Okay? So, yeah. So once we've made the chocolate inside the factory, then we Rowan and all the other girls, Inez and Jessie, they then make all the chocolates, all the bonbons, all the beautiful goodies that you see in the shop. That's it. That's the only factory. We're tiny.
Everything you can see in there is what goes into the shop. That's
absolutely everything. So, but we don't just make chocolate here. We actually make all the packaging. So I want to introduce you to Heidi. Come on over, please. So, let's all get a bit close and squeezed up here, and we can get all into it, and we all know each other now. So, yes it is, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, every box of chocolate starts its life as a blank sheet of card, okay? And then we print everything out digitally on the Xerox digital press, and it comes out, that's the next stage. So we've now got, that's a box of chocolates before it's a box of chocolates. So what we've now got to do, we've now got to cut this out, and we've got to fold it up. And for us to fold it, it needs the creases. And that's what we use Heidi for. Now Heidi is a 1934 printing press from Heidelberg in Germany. She's only black and white. She used to print newspapers. So this is where the ink would have gone on the old roller there. Please take a video, take a photo, absolutely. So we've modified her so she doesn't print anymore, she cuts and she creases. So this is the cutting part. These are where the creases get put in. She is much more reliable than Roxy. Okay, she's fantastic. She sometimes requires a bit of oil, but she works beautifully. These white lines are all the creases, okay? You'll see these on the sheet in a minute. So let's make a box of chocolates. So, we load this up here with sheets. That then comes out the back. Okay, and if I turn it around, you'll see now it's got all the creases. It's cut it out, and so what we've got here is, that's for you, there's a cocoa pod, okay? And what we've got here, this bit normally gets recycled. What's that, sorry? No, yeah, good try, but I will get you some. I will get you some. This gets recycled, but it also makes a fantastic necklace. Fantastic necklace as well. And so the next stage is we fold, 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 we fold. We glue it there, we glue it there, put it all together by hand in the manufacture, and we've now got ourselves a box of chocolates. Okay? So that's how we make everything. Now, before I bought Heidi and Roxy, whenever I needed these boxes, I had to buy 54,000 boxes for the printers. It was crazy. It was crazy. Now, last thing I want to show you is where the word chocolate comes from, the origin of the word chocolate. And if we can just get through. About 7,000 years ago, the Mayans, these guys in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, they were the first, they probably weren't the first to actually make chocolate, but they were one of the first to write it down. So it could have been the Aztecs, it could have been the Olmecs, it could have been the Mayans, but it's likely to have been the Mayans. So the Mayans, they would roast the beans on a fire, they would grind the beans up by hand on a stone metate. The beans would melt because of the butter and the friction and the heat, and they would scrape it, their liquid paste, into a bowl, into a ceremonial bowl. They would add hot water, they would add vanilla, and they would add chili, so it was spicy. But they wouldn't add any sugar because they had no sugar in Mexico in those days. So instead of it being the sweet, tasty treat that we eat, it was a very bitter energy drink. The Mayans called it bitter waters, and to pronounce that in Mayan, that was pronounced chocolatin. So that's where we get the word chocolate from. Yeah. And that's it, that's all I've got to... Actually, it isn't it. Let me invite you to some chocolate. Could you get these lovely people some chocolates, please? We've been making chocolate now for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years in Mijas. And it's fun, you know. Let me take this off you. You're a good sport, sir. William Arley, eh? William Arley. So yeah, thank you. So now, if anyone wants to do something seriously fun here, and it only takes 10 minutes, instead of buying the chocolate in the shop, you can actually go inside just for 10 minutes and you can make 3 bars. How it works is this. To buy 3 bars in the shop costs €11.70 and they're exactly 100 grams each. Much better. You go inside with Rowan or with Ines or one of our chocolatiers. You make 3 bars, it's super simple, and your bars do not weigh 100 grams, they weigh about 130 grams. It takes 10 minutes, we then put it into the chiller, so we do all the packaging, and then when you're ready to leave Mijas, you just collect your chocolate, it's waiting for you in the shop. So if you fancy doing that, get some tickets in the shop, or have a little browse, you know.
But I've got some very nice chocolate for you to try.
The Oompa Loompas. Yeah, well, you know the Oompa Loompas. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the film Charlie and, you know... okay, so there's a film and a book called Willy Wonka.